I would like to go ahead and welcome everyone to our student-led Masters of Music and Choral Conducting information session. I'm extremely excited to see that we have some brand new admits for this upcoming summer cohort that is joining us tonight. Congratulations on your acceptance to Simpson College. We're thrilled to have you here this summer, and some prospective students that have joined into the Zoom session this evening. And it is my honor to introduce to you tonight for you to hear directly from 4 of our Simpson College current MMCC students. They're going to share with you tonight their experiences and why they think that you'll like Simpson College as well. And while I'm thinking about it, Jill, if you wouldn't mind, could you share the PowerPoint that we have for this evening? And once again, just really excited to introduce 4 of our current MMCC students: Jill Rowe, Jeff Johansson, Jonathan Kramer, and Kelsey Lagore. So once again, very honored to have these students. All of our graduate students are highly esteemed in my mind. They are incredible conductors. It's just amazing to see the progress that they make over the duration of the summer. And 3 of these students are going to be graduating at the end of this summer. So kudos to you all. I'm just so proud of you. And once again, very excited to share this evening with you. And go ahead and slide to the next slide there, Jill. So that's a quick picture of all of our presenters this evening, 4 of our MMCC students. And we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. Why an MMCC degree? And Jeffrey Johansson is going to visit with us about that.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Well, personally, I wanted to find a program that kind of fit a lot of my passions, desires, and needs as an educator. I wanted to focus specifically on choral conducting, not necessarily education or just basic music, but specifically gesture and how to communicate with an ensemble. So when I was looking for a master's program, I wanted to find one that was specific to conducting, gave me lots of podium time, was close to my home. I live in the Des Moines area of Iowa, the capital of Iowa, and the Simpson program is obviously very close. So this kind of checked so many of those boxes for me. Also, it weaved in so many of the extra things that I wasn't expecting, like diction, 2 summer courses of that. History is so integral in this program and is intertwined with all the repertoire we're going through. Continuous lessons that we are enrolled in with a mentor teacher. And then if we want to take extra lessons with the other participating faculty, we can do that as well. So in so many ways, specifically this program at Simpson really fit the bill really, really well with its strong focus on gesture and podium time, and then all the foundational aspects behind it, like why is your gesture important in this moment, in this piece, and how does the history weave in with that and make it valuable. So that's a little bit about why I personally was looking for a degree and why Simpson kind of made that happen for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. So as Jeffrey had mentioned, a big part of the experience here at Simpson College, what truly makes the degree a Master's of Music and Choral Conducting is the partnership that we have through Coro. And Jonathan Kramer is going to share with us about the Des Moines Choral Festival.
Hello,
Thank you,
everyone. Good to be with you all. Good to see your faces. It's nice to be seeing adults on Zoom as opposed to my students all the time. So that's quite nice. The Des Moines Choral Festival was actually one of the key reasons that I attended this program. Just the chance to be working with real singers, and I say real singers in that they are not just your classmates. You do conduct your classmates, but they are singers that are there just for the sake of singing and to prepare for a concert series. So that was one of the main draws of this program for me versus other summer programs that I was looking at. In regards to podium time, Jeffrey kind of talked about that some. It's an extensive amount of podium time. You have weekly rehearsals with the young artists. And then as concerts get closer and closer, we are, as graduate conductors, assigned to specific concerts with one of the conducting faculty. And then we have nightly, well, not nightly, we have regularly rehearsals at night with the young vocal artists and then the vocal artists. And that is also one of the most enjoyable aspects of the program, in networking with all those singers. So not only are you networking with your colleagues and the faculty and the guest conductors, but also the singers. And that is just really, really, really appealing. What else am I wanting to say about this? Conducting in the public performances was just an amazing experience as well. Jittery at first, most definitely, in that as a middle school choir teacher right now, I'm not used to conducting the kind of repertoire that we have to conduct as conducting adult singers. But it was a challenge definitely worth rising to. And the repertoire is very much coinciding with what we're actually studying in class, which was another one of the enjoyable and key aspects of the program that I liked. And that, oh, we did the Mozart Mass in C minor my first year there, and we're studying it in music theory. Like, we did that all the time. And then we performed the Mass in C minor. And so the interweaving of the repertoire into our classwork is quite amazing. So that's not quite about the Des Moines Choral Festival, but it's part of it. Am I missing anything, guys? That's my thoughts about that.
I think that was a great summary, Jonathan. One thing that was brought out from the previous info session that we had with Drs. McMillan, Moody, Altman, and Amy was that some of the prospective students were very excited to learn that they were actually going to be participating in the ensembles on dates that they weren't conducting. And so just wanted to make sure to share that the opportunity for you to sing in an ensemble is also a part of the experience here at Simpson during the summer, and what a fabulous opportunity that is.
Yeah, I can speak to that for a second. I found it super advantageous to be on both sides of the podium, being able to conduct the repertoire and then be on the receiving side of it and seeing the other student conductors and like, oh, I see why that gesture works. Oh, I see why it doesn't work. And I, as the singer, can apply it. So kind of getting both angles is super great.
Yeah, it's a reminder as a conductor as to what actually works for singers, because you're on the receiving end of it. So that is quite nice.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So let's move on to the expertise and experience. Kelsey, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us, I know that you have been off on maternity leave this year, but congratulations on that. But just curious, how does working with a professional ensemble in the summer translate to your daily work as a choral educator?
So when people ask me, why did you choose to pursue this degree? You know, what's your next step? I always tell people, I love high school kids. I want to do my job, but better. And so I really love the level of the ensemble that we work with in the summer, because it gives my ears practice really picking apart specific things in what I'm hearing, and has given me the critical ear and the confidence to try some different things with my high school kids, and really has just equipped me to have high expectations in the classroom, which is so much fun. And I can see a difference in my students, that they realize they're sounding better because I'm giving them better feedback as they're singing. In terms of faculty, there's just such a wide breadth of knowledge between Matt and Phil and Tim and Amy. They all have different experiences, have sung professionally, have conducted it at all different levels, festivals all over the world, have expertise in different areas of repertoire. And so to have kind of that encyclopedia at my fingertips at all times too is great. You know, I've reached out to Tim and Matt on several occasions about stuff that I'm doing in my own classroom. Just, hey, what would you do here? Or I'm struggling to get them to do this. What would you suggest? So, you know, we work together in the summer, but even all year, they continue to be resources and, you know, colleagues and friends. It's a really cool relationship that you develop with some really high level scholars.
That was awesome segue to also to talk about the supportive cohort format that that is drawn into the program. And so I'll ask Jonathan if you wouldn't share a little bit about the cohort format and the experiences that you have as a group together.
For sure. Well, the cohorts are awesome, for one thing. We're just a lot of fun. It is a very relaxed and professional atmosphere. It did not take long at all for as a first year coming into then meeting second years and other first years to feel like we belonged together, to feel like we were close friends, that we had known each other for a super long time. And that just speaks to the kind of quality of people that I think this program just attracts, and to the quality of the faculty as well, because that's who they are too. So if you are a part of this program already, if you're thinking about it, I highly encourage you in the fact that we are just one big happy family and are super supportive of each other, both emotionally, but also in terms of our academics as well. Whether it be working on a particular class assignments or research for choral literature, or the finals for all that, or just I'm struggling with this gesture, and when we're on the podium, we feel very supported by each other. I don't really feel like there is one person who kind of stands out as the like snob of the group, and it doesn't really feel like there is anybody that feels like they're the least of the group. We all feel pretty equal together. So yeah.
And can I jump in with one more thing too? So another unique feature, as I talk to some other friends that have been in grad programs, because this is summers and you could keep your job, there's not that weird layer of we're all competing for the same jobs at the end of this. A lot of times at the end of a master's program or a DMA, you know, you're all looking for the same, you know, there's 20 people looking for the same 5 jobs within a geographic area. And because the aim of a lot of the students at Simpson is to just get better at what they're already doing, there isn't this like looming bizarre sense of competition about what happens when we're done with this.
Additionally, the cohort has been vital throughout the school year. We all are in a group meet together, and every time somebody has a question or a concern or something, people just put it in there, and everyone's willing and able to give advice and encourage one another, which is really exciting, especially when we don't get to see each other over the long school year. And it's nice to be able to relate to people who are in a similar boat all across the country, and who can lend their knowledge. So that's fun. GroupMe is great.
It was especially
GroupMe also has a feature that you can create memes out of any picture that we utilize from time to time.
Jill,
so look forward to that.
Jill, your meme that you had about like Mozart wrote a tasty solo and it said Tasto solo, that's hanging up in my classroom. It's just that.
That's great.
The memes are invaluable to our mental stability in the 7 weeks that we are together.
Which that is just amazing because you're truly showing that you stay in contact with each other outside of the summer. However, there aren't academic needs during the academic year. That truly this program here at Simpson is truly designed for educators and choral directors within churches that want to keep that full-time job. And it's a 3-summer residency for 7 weeks. You will be on campus for the duration of the MMCC cohort. And but outside of that, you will not have academic responsibilities one summer to the next. So if someone would be willing to visit about what a typical day in the life of a student as a summer resident or commuting student that attends a summer session at Simpson.
I'll go.
All right.
Everybody had something ready, I could tell. Typical day, classes, studying, a little bit of wine, and then more studying. Oh, and singing in there too. Essentially, you go through a full morning of classes, and then any free time that you get during the day, I usually head straight to a practice room because you are always preparing for a performance, or you're always simply preparing a score, and you need to know how it's going to sound when you get in front of a group of people. So any little break you get, practice rooms usually, and then the evening is full of rehearsals for concerts that are coming up, or study sessions. We do a lot of study sessions together because we do share some of the same classes as a first, second, or third year. So we do a lot of studying for exams, or just, trying to pick the brains of the geniuses we have in the other cohorts. We have a friend from Texas who knows everything about history, and I feel like I can't retain anything about history. And so you learn who is a good resource for you when you do your group study sessions at night. And if people prefer to study on their own or only with one other person because the big group is overwhelming, then everybody is really cool and respectful about what each person needs. And like someone else mentioned before, super supportive and incredible people to work with and be around.
Thank you so much, Jill. And while I have you here, you were both a residential student as well as a commuting student on separate summer situations. So would you mind just sharing some of your experiences as a commuting student, and then also what it's like to live on campus through housing?
Yes. So my first summer, I lived about 45 minutes away from campus, and I thought, that's close enough. I don't need to be on campus. But I hate driving. So commuting was a pain. However, on the commute, it was nice to have time to decompress, but also you were forced to stop thinking so hard, and you were forced to stop studying. So in the meantime, I learned well by listening. And so I listened to all of the repertoire that I had to prepare for, because in any given day or week, you're probably looking at maybe 6 new songs that you're learning, that you're studying. And so I would learn a lot of my repertoire that I had to conduct through recordings on YouTube. I'd make my playlist and I'd listen to it, and I'd get through the playlist, and then I would be home and I could go back to studying. So that's why I appreciated the commuting aspect. Then I took a new job before my second summer of the program. So then I moved on campus for the second summer, and same kind of idea with the pros and cons. I had to find a different way to study my repertoire, but I also had the luxuries of being close by where I could stay in the practice room late at night and then just walk across the street to be in the apartment. And I had a really great roommate who, Julia, is a walking dictionary and encyclopedia in her own right. So she knows everything about everything, and can't gather a single thought. You're going to get everything and more if you have a question about it. So the people that are in the building, it was easy to get to those people by living on campus, you know, and the apartments are sufficient enough. It's not your home that you're used to, but it's got a room and it's got a full kitchen and bathroom, and you just bring everything, a little bit of everything that you need to get by for 7 weeks. And the girls have gotten into the habit of bringing dresses to share and to wear each other's clothes, because every time we present, we like to dress up, and every time we direct before a concert, we like to dress up. So we just start to share clothes. So bring dresses if you like to wear dresses, I guess.
And also regarding the housing, so when I was there a couple years ago, just as a first year, I opted for the single occupancy option, so I didn't have a roommate, because my wife and 1-year-old just chose to be with me for portions of the summer, so I wanted to have that flexibility. So if you're not wanting a roommate, it is, I think, perfectly viable. There should be plenty of space, I would think, to just do single occupancy. It does, of course, cost more, but even that, compared to other programs out there, it is not nearly as expensive in regards to housing or tuition.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Jonathan and Jill. So one thing we like to encourage is for applicants to consider graduate stipends. Often the graduate stipends actually cover the expense of housing on campus. And so both financial aid and graduate administrative stipends are an option to help you support your MMCC degree. And so Jill's gonna share with us a little bit about how much work is a administrative stipend situation look like, and is it worth it, and how does it all work out?
I am a fan of letting people give me money. I don't know how you all feel about that. So the first year, Phil messaged me and said, we would like to reward you with a $1,000 graduate stipend if you're willing to help out with tasks throughout the summer. Sure, that's just what we do on a daily basis anyways. As teachers, you just jump in where you're needed. So it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. And $1,000 sounded like a huge help for tuition any year. So I think one time I was in charge of driving the vans to the Des Moines rehearsals and the choral festivals. So I would just get a school van and the students would all jump in, as many as we could fit. And my position was to drive the van. Easy. Another time, I think I had to be in charge of setting up chairs and music stands for specific rehearsals. So the work is never hard. It may be a little time consuming and the jobs can vary. I know that one of the students had a job that was maybe too big for one person to do, where she would scan the music into PDFs so that those students learning off of iPads, and many of the students bring iPads so they don't have to carry around 100 songs. She had to scan all that music into PDFs, and it took up a lot of her time, and she missed out on a lot of studying, and she was really stressed out. So that was kind of a bigger job that I didn't have to do, but that I know was a struggle for that person, which could be redone, I'm sure, if that was brought up again as a position. So I think the stipend is worth it because I like getting help with tuition. However, I've heard from some of my friends that if they were asked to do it again, they wouldn't, because they like having that extra time to do their own studying.
Perfect. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Jill. So just to confirm, all of those that have attended this session, as long as you applied by April 1st, you are automatically considered eligible for a graduate stipend. So as Jill mentioned, Dr. Moody will reach out to you with that reward and offer it to you, and it's your decision whether to accept it or not. If you're looking at future cohorts, I encourage you to go ahead and submit your application, because as long as you apply by the deadline, you're an automatic candidate for the program, for the graduate stipend program. Kelsey, would you mind speaking some about financial aid and or potentially, how you have afforded to pay for your Master's of Music and Choral Conducting degree? Just share anything that you would like towards how you're working while you're earning your MMCC degree and the opportunities that you have as a student to have financial aid.
Of course. So I had a graduate stipend as well. My role was, it was actually something that's been really helpful in my job, is thinking through logistics of facilities and setting up for um, some rehearsals and things like that. So thinking through a space and where people stand and what needs to go where. Um, that was kind of my gig the last couple of summers. Um, I'm probably going to turn down a graduate stipend this year, just because time circumstances have changed significantly for me. But that was a really great help. In terms of affordability, this program is very, very competitive when you look at what you're getting, and in terms of podium time and the type of expertise that you're getting. Um, you know, there were some comparable programs I was looking at that were like online music ed things that it was hardly any FaceTime with a real professor, and a lot of online work. And so in terms of um, the experience that I feel like I'm getting for the money that I'm spending, it feels like a really great value. Um, the ability to continue to work and not have to take time, 2 years off of work to finish a master's degree, that's obviously kind of saving me money in the long run too. To be able to continue to get that paycheck whole school year, and then use some of that toward my education. The other thing that Iowa still uses that is really wonderful is the graduated pay scale. So when I finish my master's degree, I'm actually going to get a raise. And as I finish different chunks of credits, so like bachelor's plus 12, bachelor's plus 24, my pay in the state of Iowa, public school districts use a system that incentivizes you to get your education. So it has almost already paid for itself, and will very shortly, in a very literal sense.
That's awesome. So on national average for educators, typically it's a $4,000 payroll increase for a master's degree over a bachelor's degree. So over the lifetime of earnings, your MMCC degree is certainly going to pay for itself over time. I will mention that there is financial aid opportunities for individuals that would like to take out loans. So our Office of Financial Aid will work with you towards that goal. If it's a situation that you don't pay out of pocket, certainly you will be eligible for financial aid. And the financial aid will not only cover your tuition, it will also cover your housing and any miscellaneous. If you have traveling bills, it will cover those fees. So I am just going to open the floor at this point. We are going to take questions from those that are participating, but I wanted to open the floor to any of the 4 current Simpson College MMCC students to see if there's anything that they would like to share that they didn't have an opportunity to share at that time when they were presenting. So I just want to open it up before we take questions really quickly to Kelsey, Jeffrey, Jonathan, and Jill. So grateful that you joined us, but just wanted to see if there was anything that was a missed opportunity that you wanted to share with this group.
I'd love to talk about the faculty a little bit more. So we are each assigned a specific faculty member as a mentor. So they're the one that we go to, definitely are a go-to. Mine is Tim, and I could not be more grateful that I have Tim as a mentor. He is incredible, and they're all fantastic, but my personality and Tim's personality match up very, very well. So I had regular lessons with him, and then I had several with Amy as well at multiple points. I didn't have a formal lesson with Matt, but just said, hey, Matt, I'm struggling with this. And he would, at that moment, just stop what he was doing and help me out with it. And specifically with Tim, there was a situation in which I was just experiencing a lot of anxiety surrounding my first Des Moines choral concert. And then after the concert, I went to him as like explained the situation where I was feeling anxiety and actually how he had contributed to my anxiety. And he immediately apologized for that and owned it. And then spent 20 minutes with me working on how he could change his teaching, change his instruction to avoid that situation in the future. So that was just an incredible experience that I didn't have experiences like that with Matt and Phil and Amy, not because I don't believe they're capable of it, just I didn't, but I do believe that all of them would have similar sorts of reactions. So they're very much people. They are your professors, of course, but they consider themselves equals with you. So it's just really cool.
Thank you for sharing,
And
Jonathan. One thing
moving-
about the whole experience is it's so personalized. These are very small cohorts. So the maximum amount of students for each cohort that we will accept is 15. So these cohorts are very small, have that very personalized experience and very well nurtured. Go ahead. Any other grad students that would like to share anything?
I got one thing. When I was applying, I think this is good to address. I was skeptical about a new program at a smaller private school in the middle of Iowa when there's so many other established programs in which have been valued by so many people and held with high esteem. And I was like, should I be the first person to go to Simpson and see what happens? And it felt like a gamble, but now entering my third year, I am so appreciative of the program. I have gleaned so much knowledge and information and skill that I probably could have gotten anywhere. And just because the program is in its beginning years still, I guess this will be the third full summer. I don't think it lacks anything. There are so many resources at our fingertips. The faculty is available to us all year long, and they enjoy it, and they love to reach out. They love when we reach out. Yeah, so I don't think if there is any hesitation in your heart or your mind that like, oh, this is kind of a younger program, or there's still kinks to be worked out, that it is great.
And going back to what Jonathan said too, anytime we did run into any sort of problems, just as we were figuring it out, all of our professors were incredibly approachable about, please be open with us. Are our expectations high enough? And are our expectations reasonable? And from summer 1 to summer 2, they very explicitly asked for student feedback, and we could tell when we arrived for our second summer that they had taken that feedback to heart and were truly trying to make it help us get as much as we could out of it, and we're open to change. So that was nice. But yes, even though it's a new-ish program, awesome things happening.
Awesome. Well, I truly cannot speak high enough myself about the directors, the co-founders, the masterminds behind developing the Masters of Music and Choral Conducting program. Dr. Phil Moody and Dr. Tim McMillan brought this all together, and it's just a phenomenal experience. That partnership with Coro truly makes the experience through the Coro vocal artists, the young artists, professional artists, and the guest conductors. It's just a phenomenal, wonderful experience. And as you all have witnessed, we have phenomenal MMCC current students as well. So I would at this time like to open it up to all those that are participating and offer the opportunity for you to ask directly to these MMCC students any questions. As you see, we do not have any faculty here with us tonight, so you can feel free to be as transparent as you want. Fire the questions away. If you're on the fence about whether or not Simpson is the right place for you, just ask those questions at this time.
I have a question. I have a wife and 4 beautiful children, but we live in Marion, Iowa, which is not really just a morning drive away. So one of my questions is, what are weekends like? Because the thought right now is that I would need to be down in, either on campus or close by. But wondered is it reasonable to, be able to go home on a Friday night, Saturday morning, spend time with the family, or are there things going on, 6-7 days a week?
Both, I think. We had one of our friends in Jonathan's cohort who was from Kansas, right? Michael's from Kansas. And similar story. He would occasionally say, I am going this weekend. I will not be here. Don't bother me. I'm not going to be around. I'm going to see my family. And I think maybe 2 or 3 times he did pick up and go. The weekends are busy. They can be busy, or, we get that everybody's human and that you have families to take care of. And I'm sure Jonathan has lots to say, because Jonathan now has 2 beautiful children and a wife, and Kelsey now has a baby and a husband. So they'll know more about the big family aspect, but it has been done before with some of our friends and it has worked out.
Great.
Yeah, I know towards the end of the summer, that would be much more difficult to visit because of the amount of rehearsals and the amount of concerts that are happening in the evenings and on weekends. But I'd say at least about 3 to 4 weeks in, there isn't much happening on the weekends. There's still obviously studying that needs to happen, but that's more of a personal decision as to how much time you need to study. So it's more into when you get into weeks, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there, things start to shift.
I have 2 questions for you. One is regarded to me traveling from Pennsylvania, and that is, how early can I get to Iowa so I actually know what I'm doing and not be lost in the middle of Iowa?
Well, Jacob, can I ask you, are you going to be flying or will you be driving?
Driving.
Okay. So at this point in time, the summer housing hasn't quite been settled yet. However, Simpson College will work with you if you need to arrive early to campus. So we certainly can accommodate your situation. There is a date that you would be expected to be on campus, but if you want to come early and get familiar with the area, absolutely permissible. It's really a matter of you just reaching out to myself and or Phil or Tim regarding your situation, and we can notify Simpson College of your intention of arriving early. Jonathan Kramer, you travel from out of state. Can you maybe share a little bit about your experience of living out of state and coming to campus? One thing that was helpful for Jonathan, and you being in Pennsylvania, this might not be an option, but you are more than welcome to come to campus for a day visit, prior to the summer cohort, if it's convenient for you. It's not really convenient for you with living in Pennsylvania, but it is an option for you to have a day or 2 where you experience the Simpson College setting. If you if you happen to be traveling through, we'd be happy to work with you on that, and any other prospective student that would like to visit campus prior to attending. And once again, congratulations on your acceptance, Jacob. We're really excited to have you this summer.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My second question is related to like all the concerts, and I saw that there's a lot of things that do happen, like a lot of different kinds of concerts. So what's the average number of concerts that you would do per week? And then I would say, how many would you actually be a conductor in for a summer or so?
That's a good question. When all the schedules are layered on top of each other, it looks overwhelming. But once you kind of isolate, these are the ones I'm singing on, these are the ones I'm conducting on, and these I have nothing to do with. I'm not either conducting or singing. It all kind of files itself out. And the faculty does a nice job of not overextending you in ways that like, oh, I don't immediately conduct and then I go sing and then I conduct again, back to back to back, week after week after week, where there's some sort of spaced out timeline evenly throughout the summer session. On an average, gosh, you're conducting in some fashion daily, whether it's like pre-prepared or on the spot, in a casual setting or in a lesson. In a concert setting, right?
I can remember as a first year, and it might change because of now there's going to be 3 cohorts, but I conducted at one evening concert and one noontime concert. And then just in the particular circumstances of how things shaked out, I had a bonus piece that I conducted at another noontime concert. So I ended up conducting it at 3 concerts, but those were spaced out over 3 weeks or so. And then as part of the graduate choral ensemble course, I sang in one of the evening concerts. It was actually a matinee, but it was a weekend concert. And then the big major work was the other one that everybody has to sing in. So a total of 4.5 concerts I was involved in, as 2.5 as a conductor, 2 as a singer.
That's really neat. That's really neat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I'm completing the FAFSA application, and it is asking, am I applying for the 2020-21 school year or the 21-22 school year? And it said I should check with the university.
Excellent. Yes. Adam, great to see you. And once again, congratulations on your acceptance this summer. We're thrilled to have you as well. So the FAFSA application for the summer session always falls back to the previous academic year. So the 2021 summer session will fall back to the 2020-21 academic year. So, at this point in time, you can actually complete 2 FAFSA applications, one for this summer and then also one for the next summer. And just as a side note, to confirm, in order to be eligible for graduate stipends, you do not need to complete a FAFSA application. You are automatically eligible for a graduate stipend whether or not you apply for FAFSA. So I just wanted to clarify that for individuals that may not be considering taking out financial aid, you will still be eligible for graduate stipends.
Awesome. Thank you, Ginger.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. It's great to have everyone tonight. And please, anyone else that has any questions, feel free to have our cohort answer those questions. I'm happy to assist as well. And also back to Adam's question, we are recording the session. We will send the recording out to everyone, so you'll have the opportunity to review some of those items that you missed during the session. And I will offer that if you would like to carry on further conversation with these MMCC students or any other graduate students that are here from Simpson College, they are all so wonderful and accommodating. They want to help your first year experience to be amazing here at Simpson. So I can certainly connect you outside of this session. If it's a little bit intimidating to ask a question here on the spot, feel free to send me an email and I'd be happy to connect you with a student. Well, once again, we were thrilled to have so many join us this evening, and I just want to really thank our current MMCC students. It's obvious how much you love the program and the experience, and I just cannot speak highly enough of you. I love to attend those Des Moines choral festivals and watch you conduct. It's just a phenomenal experience, and just warms my heart to know how close-knit this Simpson College family is here at Simpson through the summer sessions. They stay connected year round, and it's just an incredible opportunity for all of our upcoming applicants. And we just congratulate all those that are attending tonight that were accepted into the program, and those that are still continuing through the application process. Know that I'm here for you every step of the way. I want to assist and help make that Simpson experience a successful one for you. So don't hesitate to reach out to us and ask additional questions. But once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I just encourage you to check our simpson.edu website as well, the Coro site. There's some really amazing videos of our current MMCC students conducting in those choral festivals. It will give you goosebumps when you hear that amazing choral ensemble singing and as they conduct. So I encourage you to check out those videos as time allows. But once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and feel free to follow up with any questions via email.